One of the most terrifying and controversial subjects in China is sweatshop labor. It's common to think of the image of young Chinese people toiling away for hours in an assembly line to build the iPhone that you use every day. Awareness about the tough conditions in factories is widespread and has made people think twice when they see the Made in China label. But it still exists today, and quite a few are being forced into it. Outside of China, the factories are often referred to as sweatshops, and depending on a person's spin on the conditions, they might just be referred to as production facilities, plants, or factories. But in China, their name is even more hyperbolic than sweatshop. They call it Shuehan Gongchang, which means blood and sweat factory. The easiest way to justify the use of sweatshop labor is to say that those who work in the factories really need the jobs. It can be argued that without the factories, they'd be stuck with nothing. But some people are actually being forced to take the jobs, and not because they need the money. A number of Chinese students are being forced into sweatshops in order to graduate. The schools include vocational schools, which have high school-age students. Some are as young as 15 years old. Recently, a school in Henan was reportedly forcing their students to do their community service hours at the factory. The period lasts for 50 days, starting the beginning of January. As a result, most students miss out on vacation time, some of the next semester's classes, and the most important Chinese holiday of the year. The school denied that it was a compulsory activity and said that all the students volunteered to participate. But according to some students, they were told that if they did not work in the sweatshop, then they would not be able to graduate. But when students do their community service jobs, they're put right on the assembly lines with other sweatshop workers. According to China Youth Daily, as most of the workers go home for their holiday to be with their families, many factories are having a difficult time with a labor shortage during the winter and summer vacation time. Coincidentally, many of the students have time away from school. Because they're hired as interns, the factories do not need to pay insurance for these students. The only cost of them is minimum wage. Most students are required to work overtime. If the students quit their jobs, their supervising teachers will tell them that they just have to return to the sweatshop next semester. With fears of not graduating lingering, most students persist in finishing the internship, even in spite of illness or fatigue. The question might be raised of why schools are allowing their students to be placed in factories. The main motivating factor is money. They're forcing their students into sweatshop labor because they make money from it. There's a lot of money to be made in exploiting their students with child labor. As the Beijing Times reported, Foxconn Technology Group, the world's largest electronics manufacturer and the creator of Apple's iPhone, is one of the sweatshops being used. That's right, the iPhone makers have factories that are exploiting the labor of high school-age students. Foxconn signed a social practice contract with the Information Engineering Institute of Xi'an Technological University for 4 years. The school sends students to do their community service hours at a Foxconn factory each year. Working for Foxconn is a compulsory course for the students at this school. If the course is not completed, students cannot get the 6 academic credits required for graduation. Don't go away, because up next we'll continue to look at students forced into sweatshop labor. Stay tuned.